let's talk Trey Lance. Trey Lance has played extensively in 2 games this season. One against Arizona when he started in the week before when he came in for the second half against Seattle. As I mentioned earlier, Jimmy Garoppolo 1-4 against the Seahawks. Gotten hurt the last 2 times he played him. You know how he has the Rams number. He has the Cardinals number. He's done well against these teams. And you could feel confident going into the game. Like he's won, he's played well, he's going to continue to play well. Seattle's different. It's like Minnesota, but worse. They really seem to have his number. They've played him a lot. They have a good defensive coach that can build a game plan to take away his strengths. And if that happens in this game, I mean, do you think the Niners owe it to themselves, especially with Deebo Samuel out, to find a way to get Trey Lance in this game? Or is that just going to complicate matters? Is it only going to make their offense more disjointed?
You could see it both ways. First, I'll touch on my belief that Jimmy Garoppolo is a confidence-based quarterback. I don't see his ability to generate that confidence from within him as Russell Wilson does when he's down, that he can just psych himself up, psych the entire team up. I believe Jimmy feeds off of the confidence of others, and therefore going into a game where many players may have this little brother syndrome in the back of their minds, you wonder if he will have the confidence needed headed into this one. It could complicate the game to get Trey Lance involved. Kyle Shanahan has admitted as much, that what he claims to be the issue this year is I did not understand how much it would mess with my rhythm as a play caller to put him in. It strikes me that you may not fully believe that, but I thought it was endearing to have Kyle admit fault. Whether it was true or not, just to have a mea culpa moment was refreshing for me.
I think from Kyle's perspective, everything he says is true, but it's not necessarily the main reason. I mean, he found a football reason to give, but there's a lot of things going on in this organization, and not all of it is football related.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, sure, that's a reason. It's a reason.
Yes.
Maybe he could pass that lie detector test. I think he might. I think he can.
He can convince himself of these things.
Yeah,
I can
absolutely
lie to myself long enough to believe something. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, Niner fans do it every year. Just kidding.
It does. Yes. It seems I lied to myself at the beginning of the season, but the season has turned around, Grant. My lies are becoming reality, which is a positive thing.
Hold on. No, let's come back to Lance. He hasn't played in a while. This is a game where you'd think, you don't need him, right? It's the Seattle Seahawks.
Right.
Is he going to be in the game plan, or is he going to have to come in out of necessity? Or neither? Is this going to be
I would hope neither. It sets up to be a game that the 49ers should win. They have been on a long enough winning streak that I have to believe it would have to get really ugly in order for Trey to come in out of necessity. It would be interesting for me to see him in a series of plays that are designed to take advantage of this Seattle defense that is somewhat suspect, especially if we can take some shot plays. The one area that I really expected to see Lance in was in between the 40s when you had second and short, third and short, where bringing in a mobile quarterback who's capable of operating play action creates incredible, and can take a deep shot, which is the important difference between he and Jimmy in some respects, puts so much stress on a defense that it's criminal not to force them into that situation, not to take advantage of it, especially for a play caller like Kyle Shanahan, who loves to put defenses in stressful situations that force them to play scared and on their back feet instead of on their toes.
This is the way I remember it. I've seen Pete Carroll do this to coaches, to quarterbacks. The more he sees you, the better he does. He did this to Alex Smith. I mean, there was a point where Alex Smith in the Niners offense couldn't score more than 13 points against it. It was just nothing they could do. They suffocated the Alex Smith offense. They had their number. It was over. And as soon as they made the switch to Colin Kaepernick, I mean, Pete Carroll got him down eventually too, but not for a while. It was like all of a sudden the offense was totally different. All the principles that Pete Carroll used to snuff out the Alex Smith offense no longer applied. And it turned the whole mashup on its head. Right. And really, Colin Kaepernick was the whole offense a lot of times against Seattle. So I just think if you see that situation, like, here we go. Another game where Pete Carroll just has Jimmy's number and Jimmy's not looking confident or effective and he's not in rhythm. He's getting hit. Well, you do have another quarterback on the bench who's totally different. And all the things that they've been practicing this week to stop this offense won't apply to stop that offense. It's kind of a playoff game. I feel like every game going forward, the Niners can't afford to lose this game.
No.
So I'm just saying, it might be a little wrinkle that could win the game if you're on the verge of losing a game you shouldn't lose.
Yeah, let me ask you this, because I don't think Kyle will come in with that expectation that he's going to need to make that shift, but it could be
Right.
in the back of his mind. How would it need
Right.
to play out in your mind? Where would we be in the game? How far down would we need to be? How ugly would it need to get in order to make that switch? Because Kyle seems very reticent to do that. That would undo a lot of the win streak we're on, a lot of the positive momentum. We'd be back into chaos at that point.
What if the first half unfolds a lot like it did week 4, where the offense is struggling? Jimmy's not playing well. And what if Jimmy turns the ball over in the first
Right.
half and they go into halftime with 3-6 points, something like that? And you're thinking, why is this going to get better in the second half? Jimmy's really struggled for, you know, how many consecutive quarters against Seattle is he? Why is this going to get? Maybe we need to make a change to win this game. And you know what they could do? They could do what they did week 4. I'm not saying they just say, "Hey, he's hurt," whether he is or he isn't. Maybe he probably was hurt. But he said, "Hey, Jimmy, you're hurt. Because we don't want to hurt your trade value. We might want you to play next week, but Seattle has your number. We got to win this game. We don't think you're going to win it. You're hurt." So that's the story. I don't know. Back spasms.
Yeah. It could be. I would think it would have to get really ugly for that to happen. It would the offense would need to be really inefficient for him to pull the trigger because of the domino effect that would take place. I mean, I'm sure running through his mind would be, oh man, I'm going to get some real questions from Grant at the end of this game if he switches to Trey Lance. So he's got to know that it would open up a lot of speculation. A lot of 49er fans' fears would be rushing to their forefront of their mind. It would hurt Jimmy's trade value. So many things start to go wrong if he does it that I think we'd have to be in a real bind in order to pull that parachute.
I'll tell you something though. If the game looks like Jimmy's going to lose it, and all of a sudden they make the switch and Trey Lance wins it, people feel pretty good about it.
Yes,
Just gonna say.
I would love
Just
it.
gonna say.